So to determine the net increase or decrease in cash and cash equivalents is going to be equal to, we take the cash provided by operating activities, then we deduct any cash that was used in investing activities, and then we also deduct cash that was used or provided in financing activities, and we also include the foreign currency effect on cash and cash equivalents and restricted cash. So we get in total the net increase or decrease in cash. We can filter right to the end of the historic period. So having that set up, now to determine the cash and cash equivalents and restricted cash at the end of the period, it's going to be equal to, we take the prior period closing balance, that is the cash at the beginning of the period, is going to be the cash generated from the previous period. So we add that to the net increase or decrease in cash and cash equivalents. So we can fill this all the way to the end of the historic period. So we have that set up there. So as you can see, we have been able to model the 3 statement financials for Amazon for the historic period. So we have all of those in place now. Now we are ready to begin projecting the income statement, the balance sheet, and the cash flow statement into the future. So we're going to begin with our income statement. As you can see, we have the breakdown of revenue for online stores, physical stores, third-party seller services, subscription services, Amazon Web Services, and other. So we have all of these breakdown of revenue from Amazon's different business segments. So we're going to be projecting all of this revenue into the future. So we are taking this to the end of the decade. We will do all for other statements, such as the balance sheet and the cash flow statement. So let us begin with the income statement. So we will begin with the breakdown of revenue. So we already had this in our scenarios section. So as you can see in the live case here, we already determined the growth of our growth rate for the revenue. So we're gonna go back, and revenue is gonna grow by the live case, which we already determined. So it's gonna be equal to, we take the prior period, we multiply that by 1 plus our growth rate for the segmented revenue for each of Amazon's business segments. So we have that in place there. We could copy this all the way to the end of the decade, to the year 2031. And as you can see, we have Amazon's revenue growing at the base case. So we have that in place there. So in order to just calculate that as a percentage, it's going to be equal to, we take the revenue in the current period and we divide that by the revenue in the prior period. And we subtract 1 to convert that to a percentage. We can copy this and paste it to the end of the projected period. So let us begin modeling the operating expenses. So in order to do that, we will have to reference the expense forecast assumptions. So we have that already in our raw data section. So the cost of sales, recall that we already had the average determined year, 61.4%, and therefore fulfillment, marketing, technology, and content and all that, we can just copy this formula here. ESF, basis formulas. We can switch back. To make sure that we are doing it right. Fulfillment. So we have to make sure that we are copying it right.